And we are recording.
All right.
Hey gang, Industrial Amputation back with another mini interview. And right now we have with us Dru. He plays drums for Nuda. We are going to be talking about his projects.
Yes.
So, Dru, tell us about yourself.
All right. So my name's Dru. I've been here and there throughout the Seattle scene since about 94, 93. Current project is called Villain. It's spelled VL7N, kind of play off words. I have a few things out that I've released within the last year or two. I have a release for Nuda coming up for the song Losing Touch.
Okay.
We have a couple remixes coming out throughout the year, having that. But the stuff that I primarily deal in is more along the doom beats side of music, all of Snakes of Russia, So Much Blood, stuff like that, and some halftime drum and bass with, of course, an industrial flair to it because that's always been my influence. So
excellent.
Yeah.
All right. How long have you been playing drums?
So drums, off and on my whole life, and I used to back in the late '90s. There was a group called Feautring, which we toured
Friends
with.
of mine.
Yes, Robert.
So you know Seb?
Oh yes, I've known Sev for years. So
Hey,
she's,
Sev.
Hey Sev, Sev, Robert, and Mike Weimer.
And Mark.
Yes.
And yeah.
And so Focke-Wulf used to play with Noxious Emotion. We toured together. So I played drums for Focke-Wulf back in those days. And so I've always had a penchant for, even though guitars and piano, keyboards have always been my instruments, live-wise, I've always just preferred hitting drums. Like, it just felt good to do live.
Excellent.
And the industrial genre has always lent itself to the stand-up percussionist.
Yes, it has.
Not like Sheila E., you know, from from the funk days,
but any good industrial does draw from funk.
Yes,
and disco.
Really,
Yes,
really,
yes.
really. You're hitting the octagon pads no matter
really
what.
Are, yeah.
But yeah. So like just seeing groups like the electronic early days of Frontline Assembly, they would have stand-up drummers. Of course, Sasha and KMFDM used to do that back in the mid early '90s. So I used to see that. I'm like, I love drums, but the idea of standing and hitting them, it looks powerful, especially for this type of music. So. Getting to play with Nuda, the first time I saw her, she's a solo act, with all her lights and everything, and I just remember loving her energy. And I was DJing that show, and after she was done with the set, I'm like, have you ever thought about having a drummer on stage? She's like, I actually have. 3 weeks later, we played our first show together.
Kismet.
They just came together super quick.
That's fucking awesome.
Just the energy that we're able to build off each other really, really works very, very well. So the local folks in Seattle have seen, and hopefully people in other cities will get to see soon.
Yeah, no, very soon, hopefully.
Yes.
And yeah, you guys have a great rapport. So
we it's definitely. I don't say like it's a brother-sister thing, but we just get each other.
Yeah.
And on stage, it's like we can just make eye contact. We know what's happening.
Yeah. No, watching you set up together, it's like you guys have you definitely have an internal dialogue, and it's fucking awesome.
There's a funny story about that. So a couple of years ago, we played Neotropolis, the cyberpunk festival out in the desert, and at that time, the stage had band members separated. So as you can see for the setup here, we're facing each other. There, she was on one set of scaffolding, I was on another with 25 feet between us. I'm like, what if something happens with my in-ears and they cut in and out? So I just remember 3 songs in, I looked up, I kind of smiled at her. She's like, gave me this look. I'm like, it's okay.
Yeah, awesome.
But so we were like, okay, we gotta go off that eye communication
awesome.
a little bit.
You've brought this up through fire, man. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's fucking awesome, dude.
Well,
awesome. Okay, so now you've been in Seattle for how long?
My whole life.
Your whole life?
Yeah, for 8 years. So, yeah.
Fucking A.
Yeah.
What's your favorite thing, your favorite place to play here?
Favorite place to play here? I have a feeling it's going to be this venue after tonight because I just so far love everything about it.
Yeah.
I've been fortunate through my various ventures to get to play venues that are no longer around. I spent a long time throwing electronic parties, what were considered raves, back in the 2000s. So we got to do everything from having Fatboy Slim at the Showbox to doing things at the Showbox Market. I like the substation a lot for some reason.
Yeah, substation's pretty cool.
The small room of the substation has a nice intimate feel, kind of like this one. This is bigger though. I remember getting to play the Neptune one show back when it was earlier on. Was a lot of fun. and what was I played El Corazon once as El Corazon, and then once when it was called Graceland.
Graceland, yeah, right between off ramp.
Right.
Yeah, I always forget they were Graceland for a minute.
But it's the same stage either way you look at it.
It is,
just newer version, of course, the sound and the lights.
If that stage could talk, man.
It totally. It's
Jesus.
the old school of it. But I remember getting to be on stage with, this DJ act. This friend of mine, DJ Ryle, back in the day, we had this thing where he would be DJing and I'd play live guitar over his DJ set.
Oh, cool.
It's very improvisational.
Yeah.
We ended up doing that with, like, I think Rabbit and the Moon at Showbox Soto. And I remember being up on that stage and going, like, you know, in the crowd, I'm not sure if I like the sound here, but on stage, it felt really good to be up there, too.
Yeah.
So Seattle's got some great venues to it.
Yeah.
And it's good to see that... I lived through the '90s. I remember a lot of that as a teenager, and seeing
You're lucky to remember.
And there's the ebbs and flows of the scene, and clubs open and close. But it's good to see certain clubs still going, new clubs, renovating and getting better.
Yeah.
What they've done with the Crocodile here is fantastic.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
Did you ever get to participate when it was still over in the?
I went to shows there, never got to play there, but so I remember how that place was, and it was classic, classic Seattle. But this place definitely is a good modern renovation of that. So
Terry Lee Hale used to be the stage manager for that place way back in the day.
Yeah.
Another local Seattle artist from way back.
Nice.
It was it was a great place. My friends Christ Analog.
Wade and Marcus.
Yes.
Marcus. Sabrina's friends with them.
Yes.
She did the Atomica project, I believe, with I think with both of them.
Yeah, I was there one night. Marcus and I were very close, and I was kind of, sort of, managing, but not. But so I was there for one of the shows, and Marcus had this thing where he wanted to destroy his instrument on stage because it made him feel more intimately connected with the instrument.
Yeah.
It was a beautiful thing because he wouldn't just destroy the instrument on stage, he would then put it back together so that he could keep playing with it. He said it made him more intimate with his instrument, and it's a beautiful thing.
Yeah, they had great live shows.
He poured, what was it? Was it lighter fluid or rubbing alcohol all over and he lit it up, and he didn't realize it, but his hands were on fire. I'm running around all through the Crocodile from the other side trying to find ice for his hands, and he was a fucking psycho on stage. It was absolutely beautiful.
Yeah, their shows were legendary back in the day.
I remember him doing a stage dive and hitting a metal pipe and went in, bam!
Sounds about right.
Yeah.
Sounds about right.
And they played a show for one person one time.
Yeah.
One person, and they tore the fucking shit out of the place. Yeah. Fucking good stuff.
Sounds like them. So
man, we got some catching up to do off camera, I think.
Yeah, I've been around, so you got stories from back then.
Awesome.
So cool.
All right. Well, Drew, thank you so much for visiting us, man. I appreciate it. I hope to see your stuff out here soon, and I'm looking forward to seeing you with Nuda tonight.
Yeah.
Anything you want to promote before we take off?
Nuda's got throughout the year a remix EP coming out for the song Trigger. She probably talked about that.
Yes,
a couple other remixes. One from Somber Lux out of Portland. He did a remix for us. He's a fantastic producer. I got one for the song Losing Touch. Video on the way. And if you see this before the 19th of July, we're opening for Matt Black at El Corazon. So
hell yeah. Right on. Drew, thank you so much, man.
Thank you.
Cheers.
Thank you. Cheers.
Everybody, take care of yourselves, support your local artists, support your local scene, and fucking get out there and be good to each other. All right? Cheers.
Awesome.